So you want to start a small business. But first, you need to know some facts. 20% of small businesses fail in the first 2 years. 45% fail in the first 5, and 65% in the first 10 years. None of these businesses planned on failing, but without a doubt, failing to plan sufficiently helped them get there. Knowing how to start a small business becomes more important at the beginning stages than actually making a profit. There are 16 steps. However, we're going to explain those that need the most attention. Remember, failing to plan is a major contributing factor to why businesses go out of business. So creating a comprehensive business plan containing every aspect of the business, from raising funds, marketing, business model, and timeline is really, in the long run, planning not to fail. For example, let's say you start making a profit and demand is growing and you need to increase production, but you didn't plan for this, and so you don't have the funds to pay the supplier for the increase in supplies. You decide to acquire a loan, and the lender requests to see your business structure and plans for growth, but since you didn't sufficiently plan, you can't provide this information. The lender won't extend you a loan, and sadly, your business fails. At this point, it's no longer relevant if your business currently makes a profit, but what's now become more important than the profits is the planning. Another fundamental step is defining what relationship your business is going to have with the government. What does that mean? Since you have to interact with the government because you're going to be paying taxes, wages to employees, and insurance, your business requires a legal identity. There are many legal identities, and this becomes very important if you encounter legal issues. Who can be sued if an issue arises, you or the business? Some legal structures make the business the address for legal issues, and you as the owner are protected. Other business structures make you and the business liable, and other structures will make either you or the business responsible for paying taxes. Whichever business structure it is, this requires you to consult a finance professional like a CPA or attorney. So, how do you protect your business against unforeseen events that might directly affect your business profits? There's an underlying principle. Chances are that what might go wrong will go wrong, and insurance is a way to prepare for these events if they occur. Let's say your business requires specialized equipment and it breaks, shutting down production. The question now becomes, how long is production down for? If you don't have insurance, you're going to have to get the equipment repaired, which costs money that you might not have. Or you'll have to buy new equipment, which also costs money. Or you decide to apply for an equipment financing loan, which requires a certain amount of capital, which you also might not have. Having insurance and being diligent in the payments will not only solve these issues if they occur, but also give you peace of mind. Another important part in planning not to fail is understanding and researching thoroughly what, if any, licenses or permits you might need. Let's say you go through all the steps in starting your business, including the lengthy process of acquiring financing, and you're now up and running and making a profit. One day, completely unannounced, a licensing inspector shows up and requests to see your licenses and permits. You didn't plan for this and probably didn't even know you needed them, and so the inspector orders you to shut down operations and issues you a fine. You now have the rent on your premises, the payment on your equipment, obligations to your customers and suppliers, and no way of raising the money through profits to fulfill them. You'd be surprised to know that whatever your product is going to be, the chances are it's going to need some type of permit or license. Another aspect that's often overlooked is how are you going to keep track of expenses, profits, payroll, taxes, and the small forest of paperwork that'll be needed to document this. And make no mistake, it needs documenting. You might be inclined to say, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. The only thing is, by the time you get to it, it's no longer a bridge. In fact, there's no bridge at all, but a very wide chasm that you now have to cross. However much work you need to put in now in figuring out an accounting and inventory system doesn't compare to the amount of work that you'll have to do when playing catch-up. It'll also require all of your time, attention, and energy that could have been invested in your business growth. So, what have we learned? Planning is everything. In the beginning, it's more important than actually making a profit. How to start a small business is planning appropriately. There are more steps involved, and those can be viewed in our article on how to start a small business.